folks, and welcome. You're watching Rock Out on a Limb, and we are rocking hard and fast today. Once again, it's Friday, and we've got multiple tasks to do. Here's our problem. We've got palm trees in the back that we just finished trimming, and there's a lot of mess, as you can see. We take the palm fronds, the lower palm fronds, we take the flowers, the stems, the seeds, the dates, and any new shoots that will become flowers and dates become messy and they clog up roots and drains. So this is about a 60 footer, and we have not been paid to actually descale it. You can see up at the top the scale has fallen free from it on its own. That'll happen over time. We've got another one back here. And once again, the trimming of the palm, unless you've got a bucket, you got to climb up it and get above this scale. And you just leave the heart of the palms at the very top, so you leave enough of the green to where you protect the heart, where that's shaded. A lot of people in California like to leave 2 or 3 fronds, and it looks like a carrot stick. We like to leave a palm tree, at least have them going out horizontal where it's got a nice mushroom head. But as you can see, it creates a real mess, and it's a problem in that this is not considered green waste. If you mix this in with your green waste pile, they charge you for hard to handle, which is about twice as much as green waste is. This stuff is fibrous and it tears up our equipment if we chip it, so we're just gonna load it into my pickup truck and stomp on it, and it'll look like a haystack going down the road. We'll cover it so nothing flies off, but it's an interesting job to get 400 or 500 fronds on a pickup truck and still make it legal to drive on the highway. You got to be able to see your mirrors, you got to be able to see your turn signals and your stop signals. So what we're going to do is, our problem is we're also planting today. We're going to use the pickup to haul these, and the pickup will hold all these if we keep jumping on it. But the pickup has got 2 trees that we're also going to be planting. So we're heading back. Right now we're in Pasadena. We're going to zip back to Glendale real quick and drop those trees off and plant them. Then we come back and we finish this job off, okay? Be back with you in a flash, so stay tuned. More to come. You're watching Rock Out on a Limb, and I'm glad you're here. Thank you. Hi folks, what we're doing here at Glendale College is we are removing 2 crepe myrtles. If you notice, they had a matching row here, but the bottom 2 have been severely wounded. If you can see here along the very base, this is already down to the heartwood, and we call this weed whacker blight. The guys who've been trimming the edges around here with weed whackers have kept whipping this to where it's exposed even the heartwood, and it's let some pathogens in, which is finishing off the tree. So they've got a nice row. Improper maintenance killed these, and this size of a crepe myrtle is expensive. You could put an easy $1,000 into one of these trees. They're pretty, and they have to be matching. You can see the other trees that have been planted at the same time have been taken a little bit better care of. They were told to create earth wells And we'll be doing something else. We'll be putting, these are trunk protection devices, and basically they're interconnecting. You wrap them right around the base, and then they cannot be weed whacked. It just bounces off of them, and they expand, and you can keep adding to them as the girth of the basal flare increases. A real handy device. They don't look that bad, kind of a neutral gray, and it'll save them doing this again in the future, because these trees are probably 10 years old, and like I say, replacement value is a couple of $1,000s that did not have to happen. So we wanted to make sure we took the complete root ball out as opposed to stump grinding, just in case there was a fungus in there as well. We're going to take anything attached to that as far as dirt and remove a little bit more of this, and we'll put in some clean grow mulch and make sure we've got no infected earth down there. So we ought to come out with a pretty nice product there. These are crepe myrtles, and these are a very lovely pink color, and they're gone deciduous now, some a little later, but it's just beautiful when these things are in full bloom. And it's the main entrance to the administration building. It's a really, really nice looking entrance when these guys are in bloom. And it's a real shame that some gardener did not take the time to actually hand pull the weeds out rather than use a weed whip and destroy the bark on the tree. So you're watching Rock Out on a Limb, and we're replacing these two beautiful crepe myrtles with 24-inch boxes, and it's going to be just fine. Within 2 to 3 years, we'll have trees pretty close to not quite that size, but the next size up, and it'll be a nice matching row again. Just for your information, that big truck back behind us is the Oklahoma State Band. That's all their instruments. They'll be playing here at the Rose Bowl come New Year's Day, and I guess they made a deal with the football field over here to where they can practice their routines. So we might be hearing some music here pretty quick, which would be really nice. But that's a lot of instruments if it takes a big rig like that. And then there's several buses with the band, and we were hoping to see some cheerleaders too, but maybe later. At any rate, you're watching Rock Out on a Limb, and we are doing damage control that should not have had to happen, but we're glad at least we can replace it. If you can break it, you can generally fix it. It's just, it costs more money that didn't have to be spent. Could have been spent elsewhere, maybe buying more trees rather than replacing ones that did not need to die. Back at you later. You're watching Rock Out on a Limb. Stay tuned for more. Well, once again, we're coming to the end of a job, which is my favorite part of the day. One of my favorites. My most favorite part of the day is picking up the check after we're done and getting paid for it. But as you can see, we've got to separate loads here. You cannot mix palm fronds with your regular green waste, or you'll get charged up the yin-yang. Palm is rough on our machines in that if we chip it, it turns it to rope and string, and it tends to tie things up, and it pulls the grease right out of the grease plugs. It's hard on our machinery, and it's very tough. It also dulls the blades quickly. Well, it does the same thing at the dump, where they've got these big hammer mills and larger chippers, whole tree chippers. So we end up chipping out the good stuff, the limbwood, and then we load these by hand and hand load them back off. I've got another small dump truck, but didn't bring it because we were double using this one. I had trees on it that we were planting over at the at Glendale College. But this is The end of, this is just 2 years growth on these Washingtonian robustus palms, also called Mexican fan palms, and they're about 60 feet high. It's a good climb up there. When I was climbing, I guess the highest one I went up was probably 140 feet tall, and they get thinner and thinner as you go up higher, and it's a test of your courage. You know, you ask yourself, how much am I getting paid for this job? Because it's kind of scary up here. And if there's wind, they move. They move, and you can actually get seasick because you're going 10 feet this way, 10 feet that way, and as you're making your cuts, you gotta lower these things, or you gotta point them down to where they're not gonna sail across a block. They've got razor thorns on each side of them, so if you hit like a canvas awning, it's just like a razor blade, zap, and $500, $600, $700, $1,000 lost with one heavy frond going wrong. At any rate, we've enjoyed being here. This is a quick one, and thank you for watching. It's a blessing for us doing this show. I get a big kick out of it. It's fun. Appreciate your patronage. If you like us, subscribe. Hit that button down below. If you want to see us do something, hit me a note. Send me a note and let me know what you want to see. I can't make everything happen, but we do get into hazardous trees. It has not rained in California in a while. We get trees falling down and going through houses, going through cars, and you know, some bad accidents on the freeway. We'll show you those as they happen. We don't manufacture them. But thanks for watching, and once again, you're watching Rock Out on a Limb. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you later. Bye-bye.